Oh, hi. No, I got an email from a friend of mine back in October, and they were back in New England to look at the fall colors. And it got me thinking. When I was younger and stronger and able to travel, I made trips on 3 different years back to Vermont in early October to film the fall colors. I couldn't do that now. You see, I took with me this heavy camera equipment, just more than I can handle now, but I do have memories. You know, I can close my eyes now and picture myself back in the 1980s. I'd grab an overnight red-eye flight from Los Angeles to Boston. I'd arrive Saturday morning early, rent a car, then drive from Boston to Vermont, arriving 3 hours later, tired but exhilarated when I began to see the fall colors. I stopped at the first great colors I saw. The peak of the colors typically lasts only about a week, sometime around the 1st of October in Vermont. I used a large, complicated 4x5 field camera to capture every detail of the beautiful colors. It took a long time to set this camera up, and well, I won't bore you by explaining all the steps necessary to set it up. This shot is well known to Vermont photographers. It's called Twin Peaks. Then it was on to my next shot, a place known as the Sugar House. I had to change the film holders each time I took a single shot. Time-consuming. And, of course, the position of the sun was critical to getting the photo just right. I made use of a little book published by Arnold Kaplan. It told me where to go, what time of day to take the picture, and how to get there. His maps of each layout showed you just where to put your tripod to get the best photo. I planned my whole schedule using his little book. The 4x5 field camera was controlled manually. It's nothing like the automatic point-and-shoot cameras of today. I used an incident light meter to calculate the exposure. Then I manually set the shutter speed and the aperture. Focusing was done manually also. But I sure got some great pictures. This is another famous photographic location. It's called the Jenny Farm. Now, Saturday night was always a problem for me because I never made reservations in advance. And this was the height of the fall colors. Tourists had all the rooms reserved long before I got there. One year, a hotel took pity on me and let me use a cot in their janitor's room overnight. Several times I had to sleep in my car. Looking back on it, I sure couldn't do that now. From time to time, I'd take out my much smaller 35mm camera and shoot with it. It was so much easier than getting out the huge 4x5 camera. There were times when there were no good fall color shots available with the sun in its position. So then I'd concentrate on taking pictures of covered bridges. Vermont has over 100 covered bridges, and I was able to find and photograph over 50 of them. A real challenge, but rewarding. And remember, in the 1980s, we were shooting with film, not digital. We couldn't see the result of our work until we were home and had the film developed. Not like today when we can see the result as soon as we've taken the picture. Now, I needed the sun to capture the beauty in the colorful leaves, but the covered bridges were interesting anytime. So I kept very busy on these short trips. But Almost as soon as I got to Vermont, I had to jump on a plane back to Los Angeles Sunday night. I had an 8 to 5 job, and I didn't want to be late for work. Wow, as we grow older, it's really nice to have memories.